I found the pregnancy test in her gym bag while looking for my phone charger. 2 pink lines. Positive. My hands started shaking before my brain could catch up. We'd been trying for 3 years. 3 years of negative tests, doctor appointments, fertility specialists, and tears. 3 years of Melissa crying in my arms every month when her period came. 3 years of me getting poked and prodded, only to be told my count was excellent. 3 years of her insisting she needed to reduce stress and focus on her health before we tried IVF. And now, apparently, she was pregnant. I should have been ecstatic. I should have run downstairs and swept her into my arms. But something stopped me cold. Something about the way it was hidden at the bottom of her bag, wrapped in a Target receipt. Something about the date on that receipt. 3 days ago. 3 days, and she hadn't told me. I sat on our bed, the test clutched in my hand, trying to find an innocent explanation. Maybe she wanted to confirm it with a doctor first. Maybe she was planning a special surprise. Maybe my phone buzzed in my pocket. I'd found it after all, wedged between the couch cushions downstairs. A text from Melissa. Working late again. Don't wait up. Love you. This was the 4th night this week. I looked at the pregnancy test again. The Target receipt. I smoothed it out, studying it with the kind of attention I usually reserved for construction blueprints at work. 8:47 p.m. She'd bought it at the location near her office, not the one by our house. Also on the receipt, prenatal vitamins, ginger tea, and a greeting card. A greeting card. My stomach dropped. Who buys a greeting card with a pregnancy test unless they're telling someone? And if she was planning to tell me, why hadn't she? I went back to her gym bag. I'd never snooped before, not once in our 8 years of marriage. I trusted Melissa completely. But my hands were moving of their own accord now, unzipping pockets, checking compartments. In the small inner pocket, I found a folded piece of paper. Hotel stationery. The Riverside Inn, about 20 minutes from her downtown office. The note was in her handwriting. Tuesday, same time, can't wait. Wear the blue tie I like. Tuesday. That was tomorrow. I read it 3 times, each word burning itself into my brain. The paper trembled in my hands, or maybe that was just me trembling. The bedroom suddenly felt too small, the air too thick. Melissa worked as a senior project manager at Whitmore & Associates, a marketing firm downtown. She'd been putting in long hours for the past 6 months, ever since they'd brought on a major client. Or at least, that's what she'd told me. I thought about those late nights, the weekend team-building events, the new lingerie I'd found in her drawer last month, tags still on, never worn for me. The way she'd started going to the gym 5 times a week instead of 3. How she'd lost 15 pounds and highlighted her hair. I'd thought she was just taking better care of herself. I'd even encouraged it. Told her she looked amazing, felt proud when other men noticed her at restaurants or parties. What an idiot. My phone was in my hand before I'd consciously decided to use it. I opened our cellular account. We were on a family plan, and I was the primary account holder. I'd never checked her usage before, but the password autofilled from when I'd upgraded our plan last year. The call logs loaded. Pages and pages of calls. Most of them to a number I didn't recognize, listed under Office Jake. Calls that lasted 30 minutes, 45 minutes, sometimes over an hour. Late-night calls at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. Early morning calls at 6 a.m. before she'd even left for work. I scrolled back through the months. The calls had started in March, Right around the time she'd stopped being interested in intimacy. Right around the time she'd said she needed to focus on reducing stress for her fertility. The texts were worse. Thousands of them. I couldn't read the content. The phone company didn't store that. But I could see the volume. 20, 30, 40 texts a day to Office Jake. More texts to him than to me, her husband. I checked her social media next, logged in through our shared iPad. Her Instagram was mostly normal. Food photos, sunset pictures, inspirational quotes. But her direct messages told a different story. Most were innocuous, but there was one conversation with her best friend Ashley from 2 weeks ago. Ashley: have you told him yet? Melissa: no, not yet. The timing isn't right. Ashley: Mel, you can't keep doing this. It's not fair to anyone. Melissa: I know. I just need a little more time to figure things out. Ashley: does Jay know? Melissa: yes. We talked about it last night. He's leaving it up to me. I stared at that last message. He's leaving it up to me. Not I'm leaving it up to me. He. Jake. The pregnancy test sat on the bed beside me. Those 2 pink lines like an accusation. The math was simple, brutal. We hadn't been intimate in almost 2 months. She'd said she was too stressed, too tired, that we should wait until after her big project finished. I'd been understanding, patient, supportive. And she'd been sleeping with Jake. I heard her car pull into the driveway. The garage door opener whirred to life. I had maybe 90 seconds before she came upstairs. I looked around our bedroom, the framed photos of our wedding day on the dresser, the throw pillows she'd spent weeks picking out, the paint color we'd debated for hours. Our life together, built on what I'd thought was solid ground. The garage door closed. I heard her heels clicking on the kitchen tile. I put the pregnancy test back in her gym bag, exactly where I'd found it. Folded the hotel note and slipped it back into the pocket. Closed out all the apps on my phone. Honey, you still up? Her voice floated up the stairs, casual and sweet. I took a breath, forced my voice steady. Yeah, just getting ready for bed. The garage door groaned shut behind her. I heard her heels click across the concrete, then the soft thud of her gym bag hitting the floor. Keys jingling, the door to the kitchen opening. Babe, you home? I was sitting on the couch exactly where I'd positioned myself 5 minutes ago. Phone charging on the end table. TV on some cooking show I wasn't watching. Everything normal. Everything fine. Yeah, in here. She appeared in the doorway, still in her work clothes. Charcoal pencil skirt, cream blouse, those heels that made her legs look incredible. Her hair was perfect. Makeup still fresh. She'd probably touched it up before leaving the office. Or the hotel. Hey, she smiled, dropping her purse on the kitchen counter. Sorry I'm late again. The Brennan account is killing us. The Brennan account. Right. No problem, I said. My voice sounded steady. Normal. How was your day? Exhausting. She kicked off her heels, padding toward me in bare feet. I'm starving. Did you eat? Not yet. Was waiting for you. She leaned down and kissed my forehead. I caught a whiff of her perfume, the expensive one she'd started wearing a few months ago. The one I'd complimented her on, thinking she'd bought it for me. You're sweet, she said. Want me to order something? Thai? Sure. She grabbed her phone from her purse, scrolling through the delivery app. I watched her face. Calm. Relaxed. Not a flicker of guilt. Not a tremor of nervousness. How long had she been this good at lying? The usual? She asked. Yeah. She placed the order, then disappeared upstairs. I heard water running. She was washing her face, changing into comfortable clothes. The same routine she'd followed for years. Everything normal. Everything the same. Except nothing was the same. I stared at the TV without seeing it. My mind was racing, cataloging every detail from the last few months. Every late night. Every work dinner. Every time she'd been too tired, too stressed, too busy. The fertility appointments we'd stopped going to because she said the stress was making it worse. The vacation we'd postponed because of her insane workload. The anniversary dinner where she'd checked her phone 6 times. March. That's when it started, according to the phone records. 6 months of this. 6 months of her climbing into bed next to me after being with him. 6 months of her kissing me goodbye in the morning, knowing she'd see him later. 6 months of me being the world's biggest idiot. She came back downstairs in yoga pants and one of my old college sweatshirts. Her face scrubbed clean, hair pulled back. This version of her, casual, comfortable, makeup-free, this was supposed to be just for me. But the pregnancy test in her gym bag suggested otherwise. Food should be here in 30, she said, curling up next to me on the couch. She tucked her feet under her, leaning her head on my shoulder. I forced myself not to stiffen, not to pull away. Long week? I asked. God, yes, and it's only Monday. She sighed. The Brennan people keep changing their minds about the campaign direction. We've done 3 complete overhauls. The lie came so easily, so naturally, like she'd practiced it. Maybe she had. That sucks, I said. Yeah, and tomorrow's going to be even worse. I have back-to-back meetings all day. She tilted her head to look up at me. I might be late again. Is that okay? Tuesday. Same time. Can't wait. Of course, I said. Do what you need to do. She smiled, kissed my jaw, settled back against my shoulder. We sat there in silence, watching some chef demonstrate how to properly dice an onion. Her breathing was slow and even, relaxed. My arm was around her shoulders, my hand resting on her arm. The same way we'd sat together 1,000 times before. But I wasn't the same person I'd been this morning. This morning, I'd been a husband waiting for his wife to share good news. A man who believed in his marriage, who trusted completely. Now I was someone else. Someone who knew too much and not enough. Someone who had to decide what to do with the evidence burning a hole in his consciousness. The doorbell rang. Melissa jumped up to get it, returning with 2 bags of Thai food. She unpacked everything on the coffee table: pad Thai, green curry, spring rolls, mango sticky rice. Her favorite restaurant. Our usual order. How many Tuesday nights had she eaten this exact meal with him? Oh, I forgot drinks, she said, heading to the kitchen. Want a beer? Sure. She came back with 2 bottles, settling cross-legged on the floor across from me. We ate in comfortable silence, occasionally commenting on the TV show. She told me about a funny email exchange with a coworker, asked about my day, laughed at my story about the new apprentice who'd mixed up the measurements on a frame. It was so normal, so perfectly, terribly normal. And somewhere inside her, maybe, was a baby. A baby she hadn't told me about. A baby that might not be mine. The thought made the food taste like cardboard, but I kept eating, kept smiling, kept playing the role of the oblivious husband. Because I needed time. Time to think. Time to plan. Time to figure out what the hell I was going to do. We finished eating. She packed up the leftovers while I took the trash to the kitchen. We moved around each other with the practiced ease of years together. She washed the few dishes in the sink. I wiped down the counters. A domestic dance we'd performed countless times. "I'm exhausted," she said, drying her hands. "Think I'm going to head up early. Read for a bit." "Okay, I'll be up soon. Want to finish this episode?" She kissed me, a real kiss this time, soft and lingering, then headed upstairs. I waited until I heard the bedroom door close. Waited another 5 minutes. Then I pulled out my phone. The cellular account was still open in my browser. I scrolled through today's activity. 17 texts between her and Office Jake since this morning. 3 phone calls. The longest one was 42 minutes, from 3:47 to 4:29 p.m. Right around the time she would have been in meetings. I opened a new browser tab and searched for the Riverside Inn. It was exactly where I thought it would be, a boutique hotel 20 minutes from her office. Nice, but not flashy. The kind of place that wouldn't raise eyebrows if a coworker saw you there. The kind of place with discreet staff and rooms by the hour. Their website showed available rooms. I clicked through to Tuesday's availability. Plenty of openings. An idea was forming, terrible and necessary. I could confront her now, throw the evidence in her face, demand answers, demand the truth about whose baby she was carrying, if she was even pregnant at all. But what would that get me? Tears? Excuses? Lies wrapped in half-truths? No. I needed to see it. Needed to catch them together. Needed proof so absolute that she couldn't spin it, couldn't explain it away, couldn't make me doubt what I knew. And I needed to know about the baby, needed to hear her say it, needed to understand what she was planning to do. My phone buzzed. A text from my brother. "Still on for the game Sunday?" I stared at it. Yesterday, that would have been the most important thing in my messages. Now it felt like something from another life. "Yeah, I'll be there," I typed back. Would I, though? Would anything be the same by Sunday? Upstairs, I heard the shower turn on. Melissa, washing away the day. Washing away whatever she'd done before coming home to me. I pulled up a new search, private investigators near me. Dozens of results. I clicked on the first one with good reviews. Their website promised discreet professional surveillance, photo and video documentation, court admissible evidence. Tuesday. Same time. I had less than 24 hours to decide if I was really going to do this. The shower shut off. I closed all my browser tabs and pulled up a sports website instead. By the time Melissa came back downstairs in her robe, toweling her hair dry, I was reading an article about the upcoming season. "Thought you were coming up?" she said. "Yeah, just finishing this." I stood, stretching. "Heading up now." She smiled, took my hand, led me upstairs to our bedroom. To our bed, where she'd lie next to me and probably fall asleep easily, while I lay awake knowing everything and nothing all at once. Tomorrow, I'd make a choice. Tonight, I'd pretend a little longer. The rain hammers against the bedroom window, and I'm still awake at 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling while Melissa sleeps peacefully beside me. Her breathing is steady, undisturbed. How does she do it? How does she lie to my face over dinner and then sleep like nothing's wrong? I slip out of bed, careful not to wake her, and head downstairs. The house is dark except for the streetlight filtering through the living room window. I sit on the couch where I found her phone yesterday, my phone clutched in my hand. I need a plan. Not some half-formed idea about private investigators, something concrete. I pull up my browser and start searching. Divorce attorneys, Seattle. Dozens of results flood the screen. I click on a few, reading reviews, looking for someone who specializes in infidelity cases. Someone who won't tell me to work it out or suggest marriage counseling. My finger hovers over a contact form for a firm called Brennan and Associates. 5 stars. Specializes in high conflict divorce and asset protection. That sounds about right. But I stop. If I contact an attorney now, there's a paper trail. Emails, appointment records. I need to be smarter than that. I need evidence first. Ironclad, undeniable proof that even she can't talk her way out of. Tuesday, the hotel meeting. I check the calendar on my phone. Today is Sunday. I have 2 days to figure this out. I open my photos and look at the pictures I took of her handwritten note. Tuesday, 1 p.m., room 412. Can't wait to see you. M. The Riverside Inn. I pull up their website, studying the layout. It's a boutique hotel, the kind with a lobby bar and a restaurant on the first floor. Discreet, expensive. I could go there, wait in the parking lot, take photos of them together. But what if she sees me? What if Jake sees me? I need to be invisible. My mind drifts to Tom, my foreman at the construction site. He owes me a favor after I covered for him last month when he showed up late 3 days in a row. Tom has a truck with tinted windows, perfect for surveillance. And he's the type who wouldn't ask too many questions if I told him I needed to borrow it. I make a mental note to call him tomorrow. Then there's the pregnancy test. I need to know for sure. If the baby is mine, that changes everything. If it's Jake's, I feel sick just thinking about it. There's a paternity test you can do during pregnancy. I remember reading about it during our fertility research. Non-invasive, just needs a blood sample from the mother. But Melissa would never agree to that. Not unless I confront her first, and I'm not ready to do that yet. I close my eyes and lean back against the couch. My chest feels tight, like someone's standing on it. The smart thing to do is wait. Gather evidence. Document everything. Then, when I have enough, I contact an attorney and file for divorce. Clean. Efficient. No emotion. But the rage simmering under my skin wants something else. It wants her to feel what I'm feeling right now. The betrayal. The humiliation. I think about Jake. I don't even know what he looks like. Is he taller than me? Better looking? Does he make more money? What does he have that I don't? Stop. That's not helpful. I open Melissa's Instagram again. Not her account, but the messages. I scroll back through her conversation with Ashley, looking for anything I missed. Ashley. Have you told him yet? Melissa. Not yet. I don't know how. Ashley. Mel, you can't keep doing this. It's not fair to anyone. Melissa. I know. I just need a little more time. Ashley. Time for what? You're pregnant. He's going to find out eventually. Melissa. I know. I'll tell him after Tuesday. After Tuesday. After she sees Jake. My stomach twists. Is she planning to leave me? Is that what this is about? She's going to tell Jake she's keeping the baby, and then she's going to come home and ask for a divorce? Or worse? Is she going to tell me the baby is mine and just keep lying? I scroll further back, looking for the start of their conversation about this. Finally, I find it. 3 days ago, the same day she took the test. Melissa. Ashley, I need to talk. Can you call me? Ashley. What's wrong? Melissa. I'm pregnant. Ashley. OMG, that's amazing. You've been trying for so long. Melissa. It's not his. 3 words. That's all it took to destroy 8 years of marriage. Ashley. What? Are you sure? Melissa. Positive. We haven't been together in 2 months. It has to be Jay's. There it is, confirmation. The baby isn't mine. I set the phone down on the coffee table and press the heels of my hands against my eyes. I want to scream. I want to throw something. I want to go upstairs and shake her awake and demand answers. But I don't move. Instead, I pick up my phone again and keep reading. Ashley. Does Jay know? Melissa. Yeah, I told him yesterday. Ashley. What did he say? Melissa. He's leaving it up to me. He said he'll support whatever I decide. Ashley. And what do you want? Melissa. I don't know. I never thought this would happen. We were so careful. Ashley. You have to tell your husband. You can't keep lying to him. Melissa. I know. I don't know how to do this. He's gonna hate me. Good. She should be worried about that. I close the app and open my banking app instead. Joint checking account. I scroll through the recent transactions looking for anything suspicious. There. 3 charges at the Riverside Inn over the past 2 months. 287, 310, 295. All on days when she told me she was working late. I take screenshots of each one. Then I open our credit card statement. More hotel charges. A lingerie purchase at a boutique downtown, $340. Dinner at an Italian restaurant I've never been to, $156. A bottle of wine from a specialty shop, $89. She's been spending our money on him. I feel the rage building again, hot and sharp. I want to cancel the credit cards right now, lock her out of the bank account. But that would tip her off, and I need her to think everything is normal. I take screenshots of everything and email them to myself. Then I delete the sent email from her phone so there's no trace. By the time I'm done, it's almost 3 a.m. I'm exhausted, but I know I won't sleep. I head to the kitchen and pour myself a glass of water. My hands are shaking. 2 more days. I just need to get through 2 more days. Then I hear it. Footsteps on the stairs. I freeze. Melissa appears in the doorway wearing one of my old t-shirts, her hair messy from sleep. She squints at me in the dim light. Hey, she says softly. You okay? I woke up and you were gone. I force a smile. Yeah, I'm fine, just couldn't sleep. Work stuff on my mind. She walks over and wraps her arms around me, resting her head against my chest. I stiffen, but she doesn't seem to notice. You work too hard, she murmurs. Come back to bed. I want to push her away. I want to tell her I know everything. But instead, I put my arms around her and hold her close because that's what I need her to think. That I'm still the trusting, clueless husband who believes every word she says. Yeah, I say quietly. Let's go back to bed. She takes my hand and leads me upstairs, and I follow her like nothing's wrong. Because in 2 days, I'm gonna have all the proof I need. And then she'll be the one who can't sleep. The rain hammers against my windshield as I sit in the parking lot outside Whitmore and Associates, engine idling, watching the entrance through sheets of water that blur everything into impressionist smudges. It's 5:47 p.m. My shift ended 20 minutes ago. Melissa should be pulling up any second now, our routine for the past 8 years. I work construction, she works downtown, and on rainy days like this, she picks me up so I don't have to deal with the bus. My phone buzzes. A text from her. Runnin' 5 min late. Traffic is insane. I stare at the message, then at the building's glass doors. Through them, I can see the lobby, marble floors, potted plants, a security desk. Empty except for the guard scrolling through his phone. Another buzz. Actually might be 10. Sorry, babe. The thing is, I'm not at my job site, I'm at hers. I drove here in the truck I borrowed from my foreman, telling him I needed it to pick up materials for tomorrow. What I actually needed was to not be where Melissa expects me to be. Because according to the texts I read last night, the ones between her and Jake, she's not picking me up today at all. Can't do our usual Tuesday thing. Have to get M from work. Rain. He needs a ride. Jake's response. Wednesday then? I'm dying here. Can't Wednesday. He's off early. Thursday? You're killing me. Fine. Thursday. But I'm picking the hotel this time. Somewhere farther out. That was yesterday. Today is Tuesday. And if she's not picking me up and she told Jake she was, then where the hell is she actually going? The rain intensifies. I turn the wipers up to full speed, watching them slash back and forth, back and forth. My hands are steady on the wheel. That surprises me. I thought I'd be shaking, the way I was when I found the pregnancy test. But instead, I feel cold. Focused. Like I'm reading blueprints, identifying load-bearing walls before a demolition. 5:52 p.m. The lobby doors open. Melissa emerges, her red coat bright against the gray afternoon, umbrella already up. She's alone. She walks quickly to the parking garage adjacent to the building, heels clicking on wet pavement. I wait. 2 minutes later, our silver minivan, the one we bought last year because we'll need the space for kids, pulls out of the garage and turns left onto 4th Avenue, away from my job site. I follow, keeping 2 cars between us. The rain helps. Visibility is terrible, and she won't notice a random pickup in this weather. She won't be looking for one anyway. As far as she knows, I'm standing outside the construction office on Mercer Street, collar up against the rain, wondering where she is. My phone buzzes again. Another text from her. 15 min now. So sorry. Accident on the bridge. There's no accident. I can see her van 4 cars ahead, moving steadily through downtown traffic. She signals right onto Spring Street. I follow. She's not heading toward Mercer. She's heading south, toward the industrial district. Toward the water. My chest tightens, but I keep my breathing even. In through the nose, out through the mouth. The way I learned in the safety training after I nearly fell off scaffolding my first year on the job. Stay calm. Assess the situation. Don't make sudden moves. The minivan turns into a strip mall parking lot. I slow down, pulling into a gas station across the street. From here, I have a clear view. She parks in front of a coffee shop. Emerald City Brew, the sign says. Green awning. Outdoor seating covered in rain. Through the windows, I can see maybe a dozen people inside, hunched over laptops or phones. Melissa doesn't get out right away. She's looking at her phone, typing something. A moment later, mine buzzes. Okay, finally moving. 20 min tops. I watch her set her phone down. She checks her makeup in the rearview mirror, reapplies lipstick. The red one. The expensive brand she bought last month, the one she said was just a little pick-me-up after a hard week. She gets out of the van, closes the umbrella, and walks into the coffee shop. I should leave. I should drive to Mercer Street, stand where I'm supposed to be standing, and pretend I never saw this. When she picks me up, late, apologetic, blaming traffic, I can smile and say it's fine. These things happen. Instead, I turn off the engine and step out into the rain. The cold hits me immediately, soaking through my work jacket in seconds. I don't care. I cross the street, hood up, and approach the coffee shop from the side. There's a narrow alley between it and a dry cleaner, and from there, I have an angle on the interior through the side window. Melissa is at a table near the back. She's ordered something. A mug steams in front of her, but she's not drinking it. She's watching the door. I check my watch. 6:04 p.m. At 6:07, a man walks in. Tall, maybe 6'1", dark hair, expensive-looking coat. He spots her immediately, and his whole face changes, softens. He's smiling the way I used to smile when I saw her. The way I haven't smiled in months, I realize. Maybe longer. Jake. Has to be. He doesn't order anything. He walks straight to her table and she stands up, and they hug. Not a friendly hug. Not a colleague hug. His hand goes to the small of her back. Her face turns into his shoulder, and they stay like that for 5, 6, 7 seconds. When they pull apart, his hand lingers on her waist. They sit. They talk. I can't hear them, but I can see their faces. She's animated, gesturing with her hands. He's leaning forward, focused entirely on her. At one point, he reaches across the table and takes her hand. She doesn't pull away. My phone is in my hand before I consciously decide to take it out. I angle it toward the window, zoom in, and snap a photo. Then another. The quality isn't great. Rain-spattered glass, interior lighting, distance, but it's clear enough. Clear enough to see her hand in his. Clear enough to see the way she's looking at him. They talk for 11 minutes. Then he stands, says something that makes her laugh, and heads for the door. She stays seated, finishing her coffee, checking her phone. I move back into the alley, pressing against the wet brick wall as Jake emerges from the coffee shop. He walks to a black sedan parked 3 spots from Melissa's van, gets in, and waits. Melissa comes out 2 minutes later. She goes to the van, unlocks it, and Jake gets out of his car. He walks to the passenger side of the van. She unlocks it. He climbs in. I'm moving before I think about it, crossing the parking lot in long strides, rain streaming down my face. I'm 20 feet away when I see it happen through the van's windshield. He cups her face in his hands. She leans into him. They kiss. Not a peck, not a friendly goodbye. A deep, hungry kiss that lasts long enough for me to cross the remaining distance, long enough for me to stand there in the rain 3 feet from the driver's side door, long enough for me to raise my phone and take another photo, then another. Long enough for the security camera mounted on the coffee shop's exterior wall, pointed directly at the parking lot, to capture everything. I step back. My heart is pounding now, blood roaring in my ears, but my hands are still steady. I take one more photo. The van's license plate, Jake's face visible through the passenger window, Melissa's hand on the back of his neck. Then I turn and walk back to the truck. I'm inside, engine running, before they break apart. I watch them through the rain-blurred windshield. They're talking now. He's touching her face. She's smiling. The van starts. Jake is still in the passenger seat. They're driving away, together. Heading in the direction of our house. I sit there for 30 seconds, rain drumming on the roof, watching the taillights disappear. Then I pull out my phone and text her, "Hey, where are you? It's really coming down." 3 minutes later, so close. 5 min. I start the truck and drive toward Mercer Street, toward where I'm supposed to be. But I don't go all the way. Instead, I park 2 blocks from our house, kill the engine, and wait. At 6:31 p.m., the silver minivan pulls into our driveway. I sit in the borrowed truck across the street from my own house, watching her minivan pull into the driveway. She's alone now. Jake must have ducked out a few blocks away, probably has his own car parked somewhere discreet. Smart. They've clearly done this before. The garage door rolls up. She pulls inside. The door closes behind her. My phone buzzes. A text from Melissa. "Running to the store real quick, be home in 20. I stare at the message. She's already home. She'd been home for 2 minutes. Another lie. Just one more on top of the mountain. I wait 5 minutes, then pull the truck around the corner and park it where she won't see it from the house. I walk back, letting myself in through the front door as quietly as possible. The house is silent except for the sound of running water upstairs. She's in the shower. Perfect. Her purse sits on the kitchen counter where she always drops it. Her phone is inside, unlocked. She never bothers with a passcode when she's home. I pull out my laptop from my work bag and connect her phone with the charging cable. My hands are steady. That surprises me. I thought they'd shake, that I'd feel something other than this cold, mechanical focus. But all I feel is the need to execute, to follow through. The software I use takes 3 minutes to install. It's designed for parents monitoring their kids, marketed as a safety tool. Right now, it's going to forward every text message from her phone to my email address. Automatically, silently. While that runs, I open her email on the laptop. She's already logged in, password saved. I scroll through until I find what I'm looking for, the message thread with Jake. His work email, jake.patterson@whitmoreassoc.com. Same company. Of course it is. I select every message between them. 47 emails over the past 6 months. I don't read them, don't need to. I forward the entire chain to my personal email, then delete the sent message from her outbox. The shower shuts off upstairs. I work faster. Her texts with Jake are still open on her phone. I screenshot every conversation from the past month, upload them to a cloud drive I created 10 minutes ago in the truck. The photos from the coffee shop are already there, time-stamped and geotagged. Footsteps cross the bedroom floor above me. I disconnect her phone, slip it back into her purse exactly how I found it. Close the laptop. My heart is pounding now, but my breathing stays even. I walk to the garage, hit the button to open it, then step outside through the front door. I circle around to the driveway just as the garage door finishes rising. Then I walk back in through the garage like I've just arrived home. "Melissa," I call out. "Hey!" Her voice floats down from upstairs, bright and cheerful. "I'm just getting dressed. How was your day?" "Long," I say. "Yours?" "Oh, you know, meetings and more meetings." I set my laptop bag on the kitchen table and open the refrigerator, staring at the contents without seeing them. "You get dinner started?" "Not yet. I was thinking we could order something." "Sure." She comes downstairs 5 minutes later, hair still damp, wearing yoga pants and one of my old college sweatshirts. She looks comfortable, relaxed, happy even. She kisses my cheek. I don't pull away, but I don't lean into it either. "You okay?" she asks. "You seem tense." "Just tired." "Well, sit down. I'll order from that Thai place you like." She pulls out her phone, scrolling through the menu. I watch her face looking for any sign of guilt, of hesitation. There's nothing. She's completely at ease. "The usual?" she asks. "Yeah." While she places the order, I excuse myself to the bathroom. Once the door is locked, I pull out my phone and open my email. The forwarding software is already working. 3 new texts have come through in the past 10 minutes. Jake. "Home safe. That was close." Jake. "When are you going to tell him?" Jake. "We need to talk about this soon, Mel. For real." I close my eyes and count to 10. Then 20. Then 30. When I come back out, she's curled up on the couch, scrolling through her phone with a slight smile on her face. Texting him back, probably. "Food'll be here in 40 minutes, she says without looking up. Great. I sit in the armchair across from her, not next to her on the couch like I normally would. She doesn't notice. Or maybe she does and she's relieved. My phone buzzes silently in my pocket. Another forwarded text. Melissa. I know, I'm going to. Just need the right time. Jake. There's never going to be a perfect time. Melissa. I need a few more days, please. Jake. Okay, but Mel, this isn't fair to anyone, especially not to him. I almost laugh at that. Jake, concerned about what's fair to me. What are you smiling about? Melissa asks. I didn't realize I was. Nothing, just something from work. Want to talk about it? Not really. She shrugs and goes back to her phone. We sit in silence for a while. The house feels different now. Everything looks the same. Same furniture, same photos on the walls, same throw pillows she insisted we needed. But it's all hollow. A stage set. A performance. I was thinking, she says suddenly, maybe we should take a break from the fertility stuff for a while. I look at her. She's not meeting my eyes, focused on picking at a thread on the couch cushion. A break, I repeat. Yeah. I mean, it's been so stressful, and maybe the stress is part of the problem, you know? If we just relax and stop trying so hard, maybe it'll happen naturally. The pregnancy test is in my truck, sealed in a plastic bag. The positive pregnancy test that she's had for 3 days without saying a word. Maybe, I say. I think it would be good for us, she continues. We could focus on other things. Reconnect, you know? Reconnect. Yeah. She finally looks at me, and her eyes are so sincere it makes my stomach turn. I feel like we've been distant lately, like we're just going through the motions. The sheer audacity of it. She's the one who pulled away. She's the one who stopped touching me, stopped wanting me. And now she's framing it like it's something we both did, some mutual drift. When did you start feeling that way? I ask. She thinks about it. I don't know. A few months ago? Maybe March? March, when the affair started. And you're just bringing this up now. I didn't want to upset you. You've been working so hard, and I know how much you want kids. I interrupt. How much we want kids. Right. We. She nods quickly. That's what I meant. My phone buzzes again. I don't check it. So what do you think? She asks. About taking a break from trying? I want to throw her phone against the wall. I want to pull up the screenshots and shove them in her face. I want to scream at her, ask her how she can sit there and lie so easily, so completely. Instead, I say, let's talk about it later. I need to think. She looks relieved. Of course, no pressure. The doorbell rings. The food's here early. Melissa jumps up to get it, and I pull out my phone while her back is turned. 4 more texts from Jake. All of them asking when she's going to tell me, variations on the same theme. He sounds anxious. Good. We eat dinner at the kitchen table. She talks about her day, the meeting that ran long, the client who keeps changing their mind, the new intern who doesn't understand basic email etiquette. All of it probably true, all of it meaningless. I nod in the right places. Make appropriate sounds of interest or sympathy. Play my part. You're quiet tonight, she says eventually. Just thinking about work stuff. The Riverside project? I freeze for half a second. The Riverside Inn, where she meets him on Tuesdays. Different project, I manage. She doesn't notice the pause. She's already moved on, talking about something Ashley said, some drama at her office. I let her voice wash over me while I plan. Tomorrow, I'll call a lawyer. Not just any lawyer, the best divorce attorney in Seattle. I've already looked them up. Patricia Doyle. 57 years old, 30 years of experience, reputation for being absolutely ruthless. I'll take the evidence. All of it. Let her build the case. But first, tonight, I need more. The rain drums against the bedroom window as I watch Melissa sleep. It's 6:47 a.m. She's curled on her side, one hand tucked under the pillow, her highlighted hair spilling across the white pillowcase. Peaceful, innocent looking. I haven't slept. My phone sits on the nightstand, the monitoring app running silently in the background. Every text she sends, every call she makes, every Instagram message. It all feeds directly to my laptop downstairs. I've been watching the data accumulate like evidence at a crime scene. Each notification another nail in the coffin of our marriage. Tuesday. Today's Tuesday. According to her messages with Jake, something's supposed to happen after today. She's been putting him off for 2 weeks with that same line. After Tuesday, I promise. I still don't know what Tuesday means, but I'm about to find out. Melissa stirs, her eyes fluttering open. She sees me sitting in the chair by the window and smiles. That same smile that used to make my chest tight in the good way. "You're up early," she says, stretching. "Couldn't sleep?" "Big project starting today." The lie comes easier than it should. "Wanted to get a jump on it." She nods, yawning, then reaches for her phone on the nightstand. I watch her face as she checks it. Nothing changes. No guilt, no hesitation. She scrolls through her notifications like she's got nothing to hide. My own phone buzzes. A notification from the monitoring app. Jake texted her 3 minutes ago. "Today's the day. You promised." I watch Melissa type her response in real time. "I know. Tonight. I'll tell him tonight." My stomach drops, but I keep my face neutral. She sets her phone down and looks at me. "What?" she asks. "Nothing. You just look nice in the morning." She laughs, pushing the covers back. "I look like a mess. I need coffee." I follow her downstairs, my mind racing. Tonight. She's planning to tell me tonight. Tell me what, exactly? That she's pregnant? That she's leaving? That she's been sleeping with her coworker for 6 months while I drove her to fertility appointments? The coffee maker gurgles to life. Melissa leans against the counter in her pajamas. The old ones. Not the new lingerie I found receipts for. She's scrolling through her phone again. "I might be late tonight," she says without looking up. "We're wrapping up the Donovan account and Whitmore wants everything finalized by end of day." Another lie. I know because I've seen her calendar. The Donovan account wrapped last week. There's nothing on her work schedule for today except a 2 p.m. meeting that's marked personal off-site. "No problem," I say. "I'll grab something on the way home." She glances up, and for a second I think I see something in her eyes. Uncertainty, maybe, or guilt. But it's gone before I can be sure. "Actually," she says slowly, "maybe we could have dinner together. Like, a nice dinner. I could make that pasta you like." My throat tightens. So this is how she's going to do it. Make my favorite meal, soften the blow, then drop the bomb that she's carrying another man's baby. "Sure," I manage. "Sounds great." She smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. "Good. I'll be home by 7. I'm sitting in the borrowed truck across from Whitmore and Associates at 1:47 p.m. when Melissa walks out the front entrance. She's wearing the blue dress, the one she bought in May, the one Jake mentioned in a text that he couldn't wait to see her in again. She doesn't head to her minivan in the parking garage. Instead, she walks 3 blocks east to the Riverside Inn. I already know what room. I've seen the pattern in her credit card statements. Always the same. Room 412, checked in under her maiden name, charged to our joint account like I'm too stupid to notice. The rage that's been simmering for 4 days threatens to boil over, but I force it down. Not yet. I need to see it with my own eyes. Need the final piece of evidence that will make this real. I park the truck in the lot across the street and wait. At 2:03 p.m., Jake Patterson arrives. I recognize him from his LinkedIn profile. Tall, athletic build, the kind of guy who probably played lacrosse in college. He's carrying a leather messenger bag and wearing a suit that costs more than my truck payment. He walks into the hotel like he owns the place. I give them 10 minutes, then I cross the street and enter through the side entrance. The hallway to the 4th floor is empty, the carpet muffling my footsteps. Room 412 is at the end of the hall and I can hear voices inside. Muffled, indistinct, but definitely 2 people. My hand is shaking as I pull out my phone and open the voice recorder app. I press it against the door. Can't keep doing this, Jake's voice, frustrated. You said you'd tell him. I will, tonight. I already told you. You've been saying that for 2 weeks, Mel. I'm tired of being the secret. It's complicated. You don't understand? Then make me understand. Because from where I'm standing, you're married to a guy you don't love, pregnant with my kid, and still sleeping in his bed every night. Silence. Then Melissa's voice quieter. I do love him. That's the problem. The words hit me like a physical blow. I step back from the door, the phone nearly slipping from my hand. Then what are we doing? Jake asks. What is this? I don't know. She sounds like she's crying. I don't know what I'm doing. I need more time. We don't have more time. You're 12 weeks along. You're gonna start showing soon. 12 weeks. 3 months. I do the math in my head. That puts conception around late June. Right around the time she told me the doctor suggested we take a break from the stress of trying. I've heard enough. I walk back down the hallway, down the stairs, out to the truck. My hands are steady now, the shaking replaced by something cold and focused. She loves me. She's pregnant with his kid, meeting him in hotel rooms on Tuesday afternoons, lying to my face every single day. But she loves me. The worst part is, I almost believe her. Almost. At 6:52 p.m., I'm in the kitchen when I hear her minivan pull into the garage. I've spent the last 4 hours preparing. The laptop is set up in my truck with copies of everything: texts, photos, call logs, hotel receipts, the pregnancy test I photographed before putting it back in her gym bag. The original evidence is locked in a safe deposit box I opened this morning at a bank across town. Patricia Doyle, the attorney, has everything digitally. She called me back within an hour of receiving my email, her voice professionally sympathetic. Mr. Brennan, I've reviewed your documentation. I'd like to meet with you tomorrow morning if possible. 9 a.m.? Tomorrow morning. 12 hours from now, I'll be sitting in a law office discussing asset division and custody arrangements for a child that isn't mine. But tonight, I'm making pasta. Melissa walks in carrying her work bag and a bottle of wine, the expensive kind we save for anniversaries. She's changed out of the blue dress into jeans and a sweater, her makeup freshly applied, covering her tracks. Smells amazing, she says, setting the wine on the counter. Her voice is bright, but there's an edge to it. Nerves. Garlic bread's almost done. I drain the pasta, my back to her. How was work? Exhausting, but we got everything wrapped up. Another lie, smooth as silk. I'm glad we're doing this. I feel like we haven't really talked in weeks. I turn around, and she's standing there with 2 wine glasses, the bottle already open. She pours generous amounts into both glasses, then hands one to me. To us, she says, raising her glass. I look at her, really look at her. The woman I married 8 years ago, the woman I've loved for a decade, the woman carrying another man's baby while toasting to our marriage. To honesty, I say instead. Something flickers across her face, but she clinks her glass against mine anyway. We sit down to dinner, and I wait for her to begin. I watch her push pasta around her plate, the wine untouched beside her. She's rehearsed this, I can tell. Probably practiced in the car on the way home. Maybe even workshopped it with Jake during their hotel room meeting. I need to talk to you about something, she finally says. Okay. She sets down her fork, folds her hands on the table. Deep breath. Here it comes. I haven't been completely honest with you. I take a bite of garlic bread, chewing slowly. About what? About everything. About us. About where I've been. Her voice cracks. About who I've been with. The confession I've been waiting for. The moment where she finally tells the truth. I should feel vindicated. Instead, I just feel tired. Go on, I say. There's someone at work. Jake. We've been... She closes her eyes. We've been seeing each other for 6 months. Seeing each other. Sleeping together. The words come out in a rush now, like she's ripping off a bandage. I never meant for it to happen. It started as lunches, then drinks after work, and then one night I know. She stops mid-sentence. What? I know about Jake. I know about the hotel. I know about all of it. I pull out my phone, open the photos, slide it across the table. I've known since Sunday. Her face goes white as she scrolls through the images. The coffee shop, the van, the hotel receipts, the texts. All of it, time-stamped and documented. How did you? Your gym bag. I found the pregnancy test. Her hand flies to her mouth. Oh, God. 12 weeks, right? That's what Jake said this afternoon. I watch the realization hit her. Yeah, I was there. Outside room 412. I heard everything. She's crying now, mascara running down her cheeks. Please, let me explain. Explain what? That you've been sleeping with your coworker while I drove you to fertility appointments. That you're pregnant with his baby while telling me we should take a break from trying? That you spent our money on hotel rooms and lingerie for him? It's not. It's more complicated than that. Is it mine? The question stops her cold. The baby, I clarify. Is there any chance it's mine? She shakes her head, tears streaming. No, we haven't. Not since April. April. 7 months of sleeping next to a stranger. I love you, she says desperately. I know that sounds insane, but I do. I never wanted to hurt you. I got confused, and Jake was there, and he made me feel... Stop. I stand up, my chair scraping against the floor. I don't want to hear about how he made you feel. I don't want to hear excuses or justifications. I just need to know one thing. Were you ever going to tell me the truth? Or were you going to let me raise another man's child thinking it was mine? She's sobbing now, unable to answer. That's what I thought. I grab my jacket from the back of the chair. I'm staying at a hotel tonight. Tomorrow morning I'm meeting with my attorney. You'll be served with divorce papers by the end of the week. No, please. She reaches for me, but I step back. We can fix this. We can go to counseling. There's nothing to fix, Melissa. You made your choice. 6 months ago, you made your choice. It was a mistake. I'll end it with Jake. I'll do whatever you want. You're having his baby. The words hang in the air between us. If you wanted, don't. My voice comes out harder than I intend. Don't you dare suggest that. Whatever else you've done, don't make it worse. She crumples into her chair, face in her hands. I walk to the door, then stop. There's one more thing I need to say. You told Jake you loved me, that it was complicated because you loved me. She looks up, eyes red and swollen. The thing is, if you actually loved me, you would have told me the truth in March. You would have ended it the first time, or the second, or any of the dozens of times you had the chance. Love isn't about what you feel. It's about what you do. And what you did was lie to me every single day for half a year. I'm sorry, she whispers. I'm so sorry. Yeah, me too. I leave her there at the table, the untouched pasta going cold, the wine she can't drink because she's pregnant with another man's child. The divorce takes 4 months to finalize. Patricia Doyle is as ruthless as her reputation promises. With the documentation I provided, the photos, the texts, the hotel receipts, the recorded conversation, Melissa's attorney advises her to settle quickly. I keep the house. She takes her car and half the savings. No alimony, given the circumstances. The judge looks at her with barely concealed disgust when the evidence is presented, especially the part about the fertility treatments. Jake and Melissa get married 6 weeks after our divorce is final. I know because Ashley, who apparently has a conscience after all, sends me a text. For what it's worth, I told her not to do it. Any of it. I'm sorry. I don't respond. The baby is born in March. A girl. I see the announcement on social media before I block both of them. She has Melissa's nose, Jake's eyes. She looks happy in the photos, holding her daughter, Jake's arm around her shoulders. Maybe she is happy. Maybe this is what she wanted all along, and I was just the placeholder until she figured it out. Or maybe she's lying to herself the way she lied to me, pretending this version of her life is the one she chose rather than the one she fell into through a series of selfish decisions. I don't know. I don't care anymore. 2 years later, I'm having coffee with a woman named Emma. We met at a friend's barbecue, started talking about architecture, she's an interior designer, and discovered we both think pineapple on pizza is underrated. She's funny, smart, and refreshingly direct. On our third date, she asked me why I'm divorced. I could lie. Could say we grew apart, wanted different things, the usual euphemisms people use to soften the truth. Instead, I tell her everything. She listens without interrupting, her hand wrapped around her coffee mug. When I finish, she's quiet for a long moment. That's awful, she finally says. I'm sorry that happened to you. It was a long time ago. 2 years isn't that long. Long enough? She studies my face. Are you over it? I think about that. Am I over it? Over the betrayal, the lies, the loss of the future I thought I was building? I'm over her, I say. The anger took longer, but yeah, I'm past it. But I'm not the same person I was. I don't trust the same way. I don't assume the best anymore. Emma nods slowly. That makes sense. Trust isn't something you just give away after that. Does that bother you? That you're cautious? No. She sets down her mug. I'd be more worried if you weren't. It means you learned something. What did I learn? That love without honesty is just a pretty lie, and that you deserve better than someone who can look you in the eye and deceive you for months. She pauses. For what it's worth, I think you handled it exactly right. You gathered evidence, protected yourself legally, and got out with your dignity intact. A lot of people would have just fallen apart. I did fall apart, I admit, just not where anyone could see it. That counts too. We sit in comfortable silence for a while, watching people pass by the window, It's raining again. It's always raining in Seattle. But somehow it doesn't feel as heavy as it used to. So, Emma says eventually, where do we go from here? Honestly, I don't know. I like you. I want to keep seeing you. But I'm going to be the guy who checks his partner's phone sometimes, who asks too many questions, who needs proof instead of just taking things on faith. Okay. Okay? She shrugs. I've got nothing to hide. Check my phone whenever you want. Ask your questions. I'll tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. She reaches across the table, takes my hand. That's how this works, right? You be honest with me, I'll be honest with you, and we'll figure out if this is something real. I look down at our joined hands. Hers is smaller than Melissa's was. The nails painted a deep purple instead of the neutral colors Melissa preferred. Different. New. Yeah, I say. That's how it works. The moral of the story isn't complicated. Trust is earned, not given. And once it's broken, it can't be put back together the same way. You can build something new, something different, but the cracks will always show. Melissa taught me that love without integrity is worthless. That words mean nothing when actions contradict them. That someone can look you in the eye and say, I love you, while actively destroying everything you've built together. But Emma is teaching me something else. That the right person won't ask you to ignore your instincts, won't make you feel crazy for wanting honesty, won't treat transparency like a burden. I don't know if Emma and I will last. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. But at least this time, I'm walking into it with my eyes open. No blind faith, no assumptions. Just two people choosing, every day, to be honest with each other. That's not the fairy tale I thought I was getting when I married Melissa. It's not the happily ever after where everything is easy and trust is automatic. But it's real. And after everything, real is enough. The rain continues outside the coffee shop window, and for the first time in 2 years, I don't mind it. Rain just means the ground is being washed clean, making room for something new to grow. I squeeze Emma's hand, and she squeezes back. It's a start.